Welcome, everybody. It's the Woo Woo Witchery and Coffee Club, the challenge of reading for yourself. And right above me is Purple Elephant, Deb H. Also, Angela Cardomancy here. And our special guest is the lovely Jane the Secret Tarot. Links are below, everybody. Go over and show your love. I'm TarotStache, by the way. So, Jane, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be with you guys. You guys are like famous.
We're famous?
Yeah, everybody's talking.
Everybody's talking. Wow, that's I just have to say that's pretty incredible. And if everybody's talking, well then here you go.
Wait.
Everybody's talking? Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no, she's not. Jamie's not here.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And those aren't the tiny, tiny hands.
No, they're not the tiny, tiny hands. They won't fit on sticks anymore.
I'm going to have to glue mine in. So
I know I need to get Gorilla Glue.
That's okay. I'm going to use E6000 because that's the best.
Ooh, that works.
Yeah. E6000 will glue anything to anything. You just have to let it cure for 24 to 36 hours.
Then that is something that I should not be allowed to ever have.
Oh, I can think of some uses for that.
No, now that's a whole different show.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Well, okay. So, Deb, Angela, what are you two drinking?
Coffee.
Hibiscus tea.
Okay. Jane, what are you having? Okay.
Sleepy time.
Sleepy time.
And I doubled it, but I did not do the do you know that extra sleepy time has Valerian in it? And cats love Valerian. It's like catnip. And this morning at 4:30 in the morning, I was drinking sleepy time extra, and my cat tried to get into it, and then she attacked me.
Oh my.
She started hissing at me and attacked me.
Wow.
With the Valerian, I'm like, I'm going to bed.
That's what drugs do to you kids. Don't do drugs.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Don't give your cats drugs.
And this is for entertainment purposes only.
I'm having Angel.
What?
It wasn't this Angel. It was the other cat.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, sorry. What are you drinking?
No, I'm drinking iced coffee, and I am having some of it is the mushroom infused just to help me. And we're doing this because it's the Woo Woo Witchery and Coffee Club.
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't get the memo.
Just brew it.
No, it's okay because Angela's drinking hibiscus tea.
Yeah.
Charge your own path. I mean,
Angela doesn't drink
that
coffee.
gets a thumbs up from me.
I think that's a celebration.
I think that gets 2 thumbs up from me.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord. Like a little kid. Let's say hi to Heather is here. Medium Betsy Palmer is here. And we have Medium Betsy Palmer until the mermaids call her and she gets to go swimming.
Yes.
Nancy at Crumb's Intuition is here. Hello, Nancy. Nancy, Jane and I had a great show on Monday. So it was awesome. Lucky Heroine. Look, the best panel, and she mentions the best chatters. So there you go. And lovely. I did see Lisa is here. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Karen Johnson's here. Hi, Karen. And Book Bewitched. Hi, Book. Jackie's here as well. Hello. And I love getting caught up. Debbie No is here. Hi, Debbie. And Rossi, good to see you. Hershey, the Shadow Reader, is here. Hi, Hershey. Hershey is doing some things with me and with Deb and Angela, and then me, Deb, Angela, Richie, or me, Deb, in October. So,
Nice.
yeah. And Davaria is here. Hello, Davaria. Good to see you. Yes. LR72. Hi, welcome back. Yeah, naughty kitty. But now you know. I mean, so that's cool. Jane is a rebel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say it would be related to catnip. So, here we go. Hello, good to see you. Mareta, good to see you. I'm always butchering your name. Apologies.
Did Jeffrey say it right the other day? Did Maruta ever answer?
I don't know for sure because I
Oh.
think they may have watched the playback. So,
Okay.
yeah, I love it. All of the above. I'm looking forward to them. Can't wait to meet Richie. There you go.
Awesome.
So, okay,
Richie's sweet here. Oh yeah, he is.
Richie's sweet.
He's a sweetheart. Yes.
Oh, don't try to make it. Yes, he is a sweetheart, but don't tell everybody. That's
Is that his secret weapon?
it is it is one of his secret weapons. He has a lot of them. So, okay. So why are we here? This was suggested. LOL. I butchered yours this time. Jeffrey's pronunciation was perfect. Okay. So I'm going to leave that right up there. So when Jeffrey watched the playback, I can actually say Jeffrey was right. So, and thanks everybody.
Jeffrey made me cry. Remember, Jeffrey made me cry.
Oh.
When he talked about when somebody asked what did he love or what was endearing about you or what did he, whatever it was, and he said the way that you looked at him, and I just was like, oh my gosh, I was a puddle.
Aw. Yeah, he's a great guy. Pooja is here. Hi, Pooja. So Julie Kusha Watts is here. Hello, Julie. And Book is asking for someone to bring them a tank of coffee. Maybe. I don't know if this will work. I don't know. We'll try. Let us know if that worked. Peter J. Watts is here, stopping by for a snack and to say hi. And in the garden, yes, of course.
Is he saying you're a snack?
No, I am not a snack. If anybody's a snack, it's Julie, but he's got a lot of gardening to do.
Oh.
They have an amazing garden. So this Woo Woo Witchery and Coffee Club, the challenges of reading for yourself, came to be because I got an email from Aspasia Rising, Beth, and I have permission to share that email with you. So, and so she said, someone asked sarcastically on Instagram why, with all those tarot readers at Burning Man, they didn't know the rains would destroy the event. I felt like responding, how do you know they didn't? This raises the question of how we read for ourselves. It's got its own set of challenges, and I think tips, ideas, and discussion would be helpful and interesting. So, and then she also shared, I drew the tower last night before going to bed, and I literally didn't want to deal with it. Went into denial and stuck it quickly back in the deck. I've never done that. Have any of you ever done that? I mean, she's speaking the truth. So, okay. And then stuck it quickly back in the deck. Then I was awakened by a tree crashing into my backyard. This is a perfect example of one of the challenges when readers read for themselves. Just thought I'd share my thought with you. I think it's a great idea. So,
yeah.
So yeah, but okay. Karen is here, Starseed Awakening 1111, who is doing a live with me on Sunday.
Nice.
And Coyote Rosenbaum 91 is here. Good to see you. And Karen, I have your question highlighted. So I'm okay. So we've got a whole bunch of people popping in some stuff. We're not taking questions today, but we're discussing the challenges for reading for ourselves. So yeah, Jeffrey was awesome. There you go. I'll just leave that up for him so he can see that. So,
I love his giggle.
yes, very much so. Okay. So here, let's do this. This section of the video is brought to you by the word ambiguous. Everyone say it with me. Ambiguous. Ambiguous. Doubtful or uncertain, especially from obscurity or indistinctness. Capable of being understood in two or more possible senses or ways. No ambiguity here. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Ambiguous.
Perfect. And Beth just arrived.
Did Beth just arrive?
She did.
If you speak her name, she will come.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Beth, how is the dog? So, and okay, so I'm just catching up. Carlin. Okay. Oh, there you go. There's a lot of love for Jeffrey. So, you know, there's enough to go around. So, and so Beth, we were just talking about you were the inspiration for this. Again, best chatters share ideas and we can make things happen. So that's cool. And Calla Lizzie is here. Hello, Calla Lizzie. Good to see you. And Moon Scarab, Ramon is here. Hello, Ramon. And he's drugged and confused, like everyone in the 60s.
Or 80s.
Yes, but it was a different type of drugs, wasn't it? So yeah. So okay. So let's get into this, because this is I think this is an interesting topic. And so I've posted 3 questions for us to think about. And it's like, so a lot of people let me just ask this question. What are the challenges you experience when reading for yourself, if any?
Getting your ego out of the way. Like I laid my cards out this morning and they said my car was in question. My car's 22 years old. I have a 22-year-old Cadillac and the dashboard fell off 2 months ago. There's always something
Well,
about
so
my
it's
car.
truthful. It's still truthful, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
But it just keeps coming up and it won't go out of my cards. You know, it stays there constantly.
so are you doing something about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Jane, what are some of the challenges you experience when reading for yourself? And by the way, for those of you who are in the chat, who are watching this, feel free to chime in. I will star those and include you in the conversation. And Tony Antoinette is here, and Lisa Foster is here. So, Jane, what are some of the challenges you experience when you read for yourself?
Sometimes I jump to conclusions. you know, if I'm not in the, like I was telling, I, in the middle of the night, I got up and I was like, what's going on? And I did a couple readings and my mind just went to like 2 cards in each reading. And it freaked me out. And so I jumped to conclusions. I don't really sometimes take everything into consideration.
Yeah. Deb, what about you?
I sometimes can't see what the point is. So if it's something that is in a blind spot and the cards are telling me about it, I may not understand what the cards are trying to tell me and do what Jane just said, jump to conclusions, that it's something else. And later I will realize what it is. So I have that problem. And I also have the problem of being too close to the situation. So since I'm invested in whatever is going on and the outcome of it, then I may spin it for the best possible reading.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I catastrophize, or however you say that. So you go to the best possible outcome. I go to the worst possible outcome.
And Julie says I tend to go with the worst case scenario. I think for me, one of the things that happens is a challenge for me is I overthink everything. I can't look at the 2 of Pentacles, my favorite card in the deck, and remember what it means. It all just leaves my brain. So it's like when I'm reading for myself, I am not able to connect as when I'm reading for other people.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge for me. And I do think that another challenge that I have for myself is I always need to remember to write it down. And I'm an overachiever because I'm writing down what the day is, the day of the week, and I'm also writing down what deck I'm using so that I can look back at it. And sometimes I will take pictures.
I do that.
I mean, I even like right here, this has the date and it says for Gerald's live. Little notes that I took down for myself from my reading for myself this morning.
Yeah. I mean, and I do have the ritual planner, the tarot planner, which actually has space for me to write stuff in. I need to write that down and do all that stuff. But again, for me, I all of my knowledge and experience just leaves. So it's weird.
I think another challenge too is not being able to, when we're reading in a group, let's say online, we are connected to each other and the chat. So we don't have that back and forth spiritual flow, the psychic bounce that we do when we're alone reading for ourselves.
That's a good point. I'll give you that a thumbs up.
There we go.
But you're right. That energy that really does lift. Now I will read and I will sometimes I'll share them with Jeffrey. Jeffrey, when he reads, he will share them with me. And part of it is he's a very good reader. I'm a good reader. When he reads, it's like my mind is blown. Just because it's so insightful. So okay.
Yeah, I tend to bounce mine. If I do something like that, I'll send a picture of it to a friend of mine and be like, what do you see here? Get someone else's perspective.
Maruta said, the presence of spirit is guaranteed in a group of 2 or more.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to, because I want people to share their thoughts about this. Heather said, I find it helpful to get someone else's perspective because I can be too close emotionally to the question.
Yes.
It's very true. It's very true. And Karen says, yeah, I don't because I'm swayed. I can't be impartial.
Yeah.
I understand that. And Meeting Betsy Palmer said, attachment to outcome. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now there is a difference though. Like I will pull 3 cards in the morning just for the energy of the day, but that's totally and completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's just a thing, and I put it up on my altar so it can remind me.
Yes.
But that's totally different. So I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. I think it's one of those ways is you are actually keeping the cards around you to help you focus and to be aware of that energy. Because you're not, I mean, are you actually doing a reading when you look at those cards? Or are you just looking at the energy of the day, which is a reading?
Just the energy of the day, but I'm not asking a particular question.
Okay. Beth said, when I read for a friend or client and the tower comes up, I have a comforting explanation that seems to calm them. When I get it, I freak, that says hypocrite. And I don't call that being a hypocrite. I call that being, holy crap, we know what's going on with that. So there you go.
And there you go.
Freak out when that happens.
I mean, and I would say the same thing. It's like I do the same thing when I get the tower for somebody else. It just actually bullseye, Beth. That's all.
Yeah, I totally overthink it. Okay.
And sometimes I do what Andrea Galvin, hi Andrea, says. I ask sometimes, are you sure? I ask my guides, are you sure? Is that what you really want to say to me?
Yeah. Are you sure? Can I send that back to the chef and have it mixed up? I've done that. So I think I saw Lottie B. Hello, Lottie B. Okay. Book said, I have to know how and when I'm shaping it of my guides are. I can't make that connection. I have a feeling it's when you're reading, you have to use your guides and connect with your guides to help you. I don't think book. Could you please clarify that for me? Tiffany does not read for themselves. No worries about that.
No.
And Tony says, I sometimes don't define 2 opposing cards. What do I need to let go of? Tower and 10 of Cups. Sometimes I can't define the 2 opposing cards. Yeah, I understand that. Go ahead, Jane. Did you want to add to that?
No, I mean, that's just like I was telling you when I was reading for myself this morning, and it's like I went straight to all the swords and the 2 of swords, and I just went straight to, oh no, I'm going to have surgery. Yeah. Instead of there could be a choice with that 2 of swords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Tony also said, the intuitive spiritual flow is missing when I read for myself.
Yes.
Yep.
And I do something that's ridiculous. I forget I can read. So I'll call up Angela and I'll say, can you read this?
Yep.
Because I forgot that I can read.
Well, that's exactly what I have. I completely forget what the heck is going on with them. So, Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Rossi asked, do you have a deck for your personal readings?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And I do mix it up regularly. So if I'm doing readings with a deck for a week, because I do daily readings, I'm not using that for public readings.
No. Mm-mm.
It's just for myself. But then I do have ones that are just private, and you're never going to see me use them for readings.
No,
Right.
that's the way I do it.
Same.
Okay, I doubt my results more. Like sometimes I need to use my pendulums to confirm if a card is really meant for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yes.
That's a nice tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It is.
It's a nice tip. Lisa Foster said, I can't read cards.
But
I
she's
call-
got a face there like she's laughing. Maybe she can't read. You could read cards, Lisa.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Jane said it. I didn't, but I agree. You can read cards.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I even brought 2 learning decks. No help, but I'm full of rescued kittens right now, so I don't have time for nothing.
Well, that's why she's can't read right now. Is because her mind is on kittens.
Yep.
Mhm.
This is a bottle fed baby. I had 4,
Oh, yeah.
1 day old. So yeah, I know that when I was into rescuing cats and stuff, I didn't have time. When I was making babies or rescuing cats, I wasn't doing tarot.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, there are more people who are coming in. I'm getting caught up on chat, and then I will go back to that. Calla Lizzie said, with astrology, you always go back to your own chart. Everyone does, although you read other people's charts as well. With tarot, it seems more difficult.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. I mean, there's that ambiguity again. Sometimes it is hard, and sometimes it isn't. I just wish it was easier more often than it was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, getting caught up in chat. Linda Kelzer is here. Hello. And Pierrette is here. Hello. And here you go. Be warned, Angela. Andrea said you, and she should catch up.
Yeah.
Hershey said, I have my own shadow deck just for me, but I don't read on me in general. I can't see my own blind spots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rose Flower is here. Hi, Rose Flower. But I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? And we all know what that's like when people ask the same question multiple times of different readers. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
So, Lisa said, I overthink what the message is and try to fit it into a positive one. The author says not to read reversals. That's another issue. Tarot of the Abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's your deck. I'm just learning to appreciate reversals, but because Jane, you love Tarot of the Abyss.
I sure do.
Do
And
you
I
read
love.
Do you read it with reversals?
No, I make a deal with all my decks and my guides, spirit guides, that they can give me any message. I know that it is kind of different, but any message that would be in a reversal, they can give to me in an upright.
So you set a boundary in a relationship. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's good, people. So, a general energy is easier since you're not as emotionally invested in the outcome. Yes.
Sure.
So,
See, now I tend to disagree with that just a touch. Like I do a general energy in the morning, but if I have a particular, if I want to know something, I need to be very specific in my question for my own personal reading.
Mm-hmm.
well, and we've talked about this the in tarot the stash way, talking about the appropriate question to ask. I
Yeah.
mean, and we've had this experience talking with medium Betsy Palmer. If you want a general reading, as Betsy says, I'll give you a general reading, but you're going to get homework because the universe is telling you all of the things that you need to work on.
Yeah.
So more specific or narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
I will oftentimes do readings before my lives, talking about what do I need to remember for the live. So
I will pull a card before my lives to see what will the general energy be of the live too.
Yeah.
So that's what I do generals is for energy. But if I have a specific, but I need to have a specific question.
Yeah.
And really narrow it down.
Yeah. The question's really important. Boundaries is here. Hi, Boundaries. Okay. You never see the lies see the lies you believe. I find that over and over again in my life and in tarot. Okay. And we have a love for Monkey. Just caught up. I definitely read my Terror of the Abyss in all directions. Sure. Pisces Greeter is here. Hello. Just getting caught up. Oh, Wayne Rich is here.
Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
2 cards short of a deck.
Yes. Okay.
And Mystic Traveler.
Mystic Traveler is here. Well, hi. We've got work lurking. And Wayne is watching the replay. And so where did it go?
Is he in tomorrow? Is he in Tomorrowland?
Wayne is a time traveler today.
I don't know, but I think since Wayne is watching the replay, here you go, Wayne. So enjoy that. So all of the best chatters are here and are really doing wonderful things in the chat, adding a lot. So thank you. And I've probably missed multiple people. And so there you go. Okay. I have a couple of other starred. No, I'm not showing you my privates. We've talked about that. What were you going to say, Jane?
Oh, I forgot the book one answered your question. Re-put their question in. I don't know if you saw that.
I missed it. When I'm reading for me, I can't always tell if I'm shaping the message as what I think it needs to say or if my guides are guiding the message. That's a really good point.
Yep.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and I did see Marita said that sometimes they keep pulling from multiple decks until the reading makes sense. And there's something wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was actually wondering, does anybody, and I know this isn't really part of this, but has anybody, do people make decks out of a bunch of different decks? You know what I mean? Like a couple of cards from this deck, a couple of cards from that deck, and like make a deck?
I haven't done that with actual decks, but that's how the
Alley Man.
Thank you. The Alley Man Tarot is like that.
Oh, I do it with hi Geocosmic Valentine. I do it with Toadstool Tarot's Open Face and his Lenormand.
Yes.
Oh.
But
yes. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy asked a great question. Didn't most of the chatters learn tarot by reading for themselves? I did.
So true.
I was one of the people that I was reading for regularly, but I was lucky that I was actually in a group of people to where we were doing readings. So there's Geocosmic Valentine. Hello, good to see you. Heather said I've done that, Jane.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And Beth does that too. Maruta. And I haven't, but it sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people who are doing. I did buy 2 decks. These decks, the Divine Feminine, the dark version and the light version, that I want to put those together to create a deck
Yeah.
because they're the same size.
Yeah,
So,
that would be the issue. They would all have to be the same size.
yes. Yeah. And Hershey said I made a mega deck from 2 different decks, but I still think I want to try more. I think that's, I mean, I think it's fun if it works for you.
Oh yeah.
So,
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I might have an important phone call. I'll be right back.
then you take that. So, Beth said, I found that I tend to use lots more clarifiers when I read for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do that too. Oh yes, I've read from several decks trying to understand the message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I do is I will lay out a spread and then with a tarot deck, and then I will lay over top of that an oracle deck so that I've got a clarifier on every card.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Tony is halfway through creating a deck with digital cards. That's cool.
Cool.
And Calla Lizzie learned that way, Nancy. Okay.
I mean, I just made a little deck with all the months and the days of the week and stuff for try to do timing.
Diane's astrology tarot does that with certain readings. We'll layer. Pierrette said, for cards from different decks, I did with kids playing cards, and it worked really well. It tells a story. And I think the idea of telling a story is great.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda said oracle cards seem to work for self reads.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly can. Sherry is here. Hello. Good to see you. And okay. I learned reading from others in class because I couldn't work on how to put cards together. And you're a good reader.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I still have, this is the book that from 1980, and this I got my first deck in 1980, and the Hanson Roberts, and this is the book that, I mean, it's very well, and it doesn't have a lot of information, but that's how I learned in 1980.
Yeah. And Nancy made a deck from Soul Cards 1 and 2.
Oh.
I actually made a deck from a whole bunch of them oracle cards, musicians, oracles, and powerful women. So, yeah, you got a lot of combined decks. Combined decks work great if that's what you like. I think that's perfect. Okay. So my next question. I have to take a sip.
Sip time.
How have you become more comfortable reading for yourself? I mean, the best chatters are giving me a workout, and I absolutely love it. So,
one of the things that I do is that I look for spreads that are self-introspective. So different readers will offer different spreads. You just have to be on the lookout for them. Richie, I think, put one up yesterday.
yes.
And so I have kind of a collection of those kinds of spreads. And some of them speak to specific questions. So that's what I've done to become more comfortable reading for myself. Because if I ask a question and just lay out a spread, I'm likely to not come up with what the cards actually say.
Sure. Yeah. For me, for reading with myself, and I actually will read the book.
Yeah.
Because I like decks that come with a book. And I will actually read those, and as I take my notes, it's one of those things that really helps me. It really helps me. It's sort of like bibliomancy. The words that catch my eyes are the ones that I need to write down,
Yeah.
and so that really helps. What
Yeah.
were you going to say, Jane?
Oh, ever since what had made me more comfortable about reading for myself was when I learned how to connect to my super consciousness. You know how I do that thing where I walk through the fields and then I go under the waterfall. And that's me. It's going to my utopia. And
Yeah.
I know that when I go to my utopia and I go through the fields and I go through the portal and I go under the waterfall, that connects me to my guides, and then I can be more confident about my readings. Whereas this morning at 4:30 in the morning, I did not connect to my super consciousness before I read.
Well, it was still asleep, Jane.
At least I know my ego was out of the way.
Yes, that's a good point. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I think this is a good reminder for me that before I do my reading, because I think about as I'm shuffling the cards, I'm thinking about my question. And a lot of times I will do a 3-card spread, remember, rethink, and release. And so I'll shuffle around that. And I think I need to settle down and do a bit more grounding and connection first. So that's helpful. Yeah. What about you, Angela?
What I do is I mix my playing cards with my tarot cards. I'll lay down a tarot spread and then lay down the playing cards, because the playing cards are more nuts and bolts and they'll give you specific facts, whereas the tarot cards give you the energy around it, and that kind of helps.
Yeah. There is a lot of love for adding layers and adding an oracle at the end of a card. At the end of a spread. I think that's absolutely great. Sherry prefers oracle cards and they speak clearer. And I think this is one of the things that we have to remember is when you are reading for yourself, I do have to keep in mind, what type of reading do I want?
Yeah.
Do I need the cards to slap me upside the head and tell me the full-blown truth? Do I need a reading that is caffeinated and unfiltered for myself? Or do I need a warm hug, a blanket, and a binky to help me get through this? And I mean, none of those is better than the other. Go ahead, Jane. You look like you were going to say something.
Oh no, my neck is just hurting. I'm if you don't see me agreeing a lot, it's because I can't move my neck, but I'm agreeing with everything.
Okay.
Normally everybody's like, oh, your head's always bobbing, It won't be bobbing today.
Get Jesus to bob for you.
Jesus dances, man.
Here you go. Everybody give a thumbs up, people. Give a thumbs up. Don't forget to,
Come on, it's not working. There we go. Make it work.
It's not working. Oh my God. The
You
magic.
broke. There it is.
There it is.
I love it.
I'm like a kid in a candy store. Kristen likes that. Remember, rethink, and release.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a general 3-card spread that I use. And when I do it, the release, I pick from the bottom of the deck. So I will do that a lot. So, and okay, I don't have a portal, but I do have to meditate and get in tune and be relaxed. Self equals relax. Self equals reads seem to work much better that way. That makes sense.
It's the same thing. Portal, meditate. It's the same. It's same thing.
Yeah. Beth said, Angela, I bet that'd work with Lenormand instead of playing cards.
Yep.
I could actually, oh, and Heather said, depending on the energy of the reading, I might even include Lenormand cards.
Mm-hmm.
I could pick up Jesus dances to that one. So if I want to use my cards, but I don't know what to read on, I will pull an oracle card first for a focus. I think that sounds like a nice idea. I like it. So Calla Lizzie doesn't use regular playing cards, but is interested. Somebody could create some content around that, Angela. I don't know who.
Yes, she could, and she has plans for it too.
I really want to learn cardiomancy. I got my deck right here, all ready to go.
Good.
There you go. Okay, when you've sat for 10 to 20 minutes trying to figure TF out, then an oracle says, "Durr," you know this already. Yeah.
Yep.
I've totally done that. Yep, buddy Christ. Sorry you're in pain.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody's giving thumbs up. It's so funny that we discovered this just like right before we went live.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing.
So, Michelle Marie, Astrological Tarot, is here, and I am on reading with them next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. My first card from Influence of the Angels deck was the 8 of Pence. LOL.
Yeah.
Could be a really good learning card. Yeah.
No, and that's also brings up the I'm sure you've already done it, and I don't know if it's a conversation for this, but doing the deck interviews.
I've actually not, we've talked a little bit about it, but we've not actually talked about how we do it, have we? I don't think so.
I don't think so
either.
Do you want us to have that? Do you want us to invite Jane back and have a conversation about how, deck interviews?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
So make playing cards. Makes playing cards. Okay. You all are great. Okay. So, anything else about what has helped you become more comfortable reading for yourself?
Learning to ask appropriate questions.
Mm-hmm.
That helps.
Yes.
So if you ask the wrong question, the guides are going to play with you. and
Well, your guides do.
Well, my guides do, yes.
My guides might just walk away and go, "Really, Queen?"
And that's where ambiguity comes in.
Yes, it is.
Wait a minute. Here, where what comes in? This section of the video is brought to you by the word ambiguous. Everyone say it with me. Ambiguous. Ambiguous. Doubtful or uncertain, especially from obscurity or indistinctness. Capable of being understood in two or more possible senses or ways. No ambiguity here. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Ambiguous. It had to be done. We've had a couple of questions. Book Bewitched said, "What is a deck interview?" And it is actually, Calla Lizzie answered it. You interview a deck to see what that deck has for you in general. Okay. And there is a lot of interest in doing this as a conversation. So I have written it down on the post-it notes of future. shows. And Beth would like you to elaborate, Deb. What's an inappropriate versus an inappropriate question, please?
An inappropriate question might be, why is this happening? And a more appropriate question would be, how do I navigate this situation that's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. She likes that one. So does Jane. I think for me, an inappropriate, who is the fastest crane of all, or crone of all?
There aren't too many fast crones.
Oh, sorry. Who is the fairest crone of all?
Oh.
You know what? Here you go. Here you go, everybody. That deserves one of these.
Yes, it
Woo-hoo! Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I wrote, be clear about your question, exact almost, so that no ambiguity seeps in. Right? So we really be clear about your question. Did I already say that? I'm sorry, you guys. I haven't slept.
You said it again for point.
There, I did. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Chris, Scottish one, Elemental Cartomancy, has a good interview spread. Yes, but when I talked with Chris recently, he doesn't interview his decks anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe the five of us, maybe we could invite Chris to join us and find out, it's like, why did you give up on interviewing anyhow. Okay.
I have all my deck interviews in here.
I have something that has, I have a book that is for all of my interviews.
Yeah. I like the decks written down, and I have 7 questions that I ask. So yeah, we'll do a show on that.
We should do a show on that. And Tony's like, what? I know. I know. Yeah. Okay. And I write down my deck interviews too. I do that as well. And okay, wait a minute. What do you want to know? What are you two talking about? I have no idea what you're discussing.
Just talking about that.
What are you talking about? I have no idea. It's a recent.
You notice only one of us is able to do that.
I am all powerful. Anyhow, so back to these are very, very good questions. And Calla Lizzie says, you mean I can't just ask the cards WTF and get a clear answer? Bummer. You could ask them. Good luck finding the clarity in the answer. And you can do that depending upon your relationship with your deck.
And my guides would be happy to take you off on a tangent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Betsy.
You pause now?
What?
You saw that.
Cherries.
Bye, Betsy. Have a nice swim.
Stop messing with us. You totally know I'm going to mess with you again, because that would make me sad.
Yeah.
Rain on my parade.
I thought it was raining men.
You thought what?
I thought it was raining men.
Oh, woo! Raining men. Woo! I like that sort of thing. So
It's a party.
it's a partay. Yeah, I mean, that WTF.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay. So I think becoming, one of the things that I will do is I'll write it down, and sometimes I will actually leave the spread out, and then I will go away and I will revisit it later because I'm too close to it.
Yep.
And I know for me personally, if I'm in my head, I need to get back into my body. And usually that's by walking around, moving around, doing dishes, doing something. And then I'll come back and look at it and I go, oh, well, that's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I take a photo, because I don't have space or room to leave my leave my spread out. So I take a photo. I do the same thing, but with a photo.
Yeah. Okay. If they clean house. Oh, here you go. Don't 5 of Pence his shenanigans. Okay. And Michelle Marie said, I thought a deck interview was a Q&A with a creator, like an unboxing. I'm glad you clarified. New word, anthropomorphic, suggestion human characteristics for animals or inanimate things.
Mm-hmm.
A deck interview would be, I'd call it a deck casual, but
Mm-hmm.
that's just me. But the idea of, I do like the idea. We'll have to schedule this about
Mm-hmm.
how do we, Deb, do you have a cat that's overlooking you with your light? You got
Yeah.
shadowy. I was like, on all of a sudden, the shadow comes over Deb, and I'm like going, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, get your guys, Deb. I've
His
pissed him
food
off.
is between the camera and the light source.
Ah. So, but yeah, so I try to leave it out, and then I do that exercise that Jeffrey and I were talking about on Tuesday, where he links the sentences together for what the cards mean, and that's a really helpful thing for me. It's like, okay, how would this fit? How would this fit? You know, what's that story? So,
Yes.
and Andrea said, one can ask guides to provide information in a variety of ways. Cards is one avenue. Absolutely.
True. Yep.
So,
And Sherry has found herself a deck interview spread.
I think it's great.
Yep.
And so does Jane. So,
Yes.
okay. So
we all need one.
Yeah. On a
I think
serious note, I think one of the other things is just to be more comfortable with reading for yourself is to read for yourself regularly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Somebody may have mentioned that earlier, and I think it's one of those things that it's the practice, practice, practice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I sometimes, oh, here you go. Yeah. That has your own special effects.
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Oh, there you go. Sherry is going to share her post tonight. Great. And I'll be honest, I don't know. Okay, help me out here. But some days I will do a spread. I'll do my daily spread. I just have no time or interest in actually figuring out what it means. I've just checked it off of my to-do list. Do any of you have done that?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Jane. Jane, you've done that.
I've done that, and also sometimes I know that I cannot read for myself or anybody else on a particular day because of if I've taken a certain medication or the way I feel. I know it won't be clear, so I have to be clear in my mind and body. Like when you were talking about your 3 card, when it's I forget what they were again. I do the 3, and it's mine is like mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, yeah, there's lots of ways of doing that too.
Yeah. Beth said, tip to overcome challenge of reading for yourself. Read your cards as though you're reading for someone else. Yes. Kristen Louise said, I read for myself almost every day, but I sometimes still ask my friends for their insight on the cards. Yes, absolutely. And that's normal, Gerald. It's not always a good time to read, but you keep that habit up just the same. Yep. I like reading for myself, but I also like getting confirmation of my results from others. Yep.
Book, he's not a Sholo, but I have had a Sholo. And he, and that no fur baby is still with me, even though he's on the other plane.
Mm-hmm.
But this one actually has fur.
Okay. And that's Monkey.
Yes.
Andrea said, pulling a card a day and doing quick free write over a period of time, going back and looking at it shows amazing information and storyline. Yes, that's true. That's true.
And Andrea is the one that taught me to write with my non-dominant hand to get information. So
I think we've already been answering, and some of the best chatters have been talking about this. What tips or ideas do you have for people reading for themselves? One thing, and I have to, I have to say this is get a reading from somebody that you trust. Sometimes getting somebody else to do a reading for you is a really good thing. I'm going to mention this amazing person right here, Jane the Seeker. I'm heaping praise in your general direction, Jane. Jane did a reading for me on Sunday, and it was mind-blowing. It was like incredible. Come on, do it. Do it.
it must not have been.
I know it was good. It was really, really good. It was like incredible. See, it blew my mind.
Thank you, Gerald. And
You're welcome.
thank you for allowing me to read for you. It was an honor.
It was great. And her link is below, because I have also had, here you go. Tony said, always joining groups for expanding learning. Yes. Chris, Elemental Cartomancy, he does something called roundtable readings. And I've been a guest on that 3 times. I don't know if he would, he says he would welcome me for a 4th. I mean, but that might just be, I might be overcomplicating things. But one of the great things about it is he'll read the card, and then he will ask you, he'll ask his guest what they see in the cards. So there's that exchange of ideas. So it's not necessarily doing readings for yourself, yet it's influencing.
And that's a really important point, because especially if you're reading intuitively as well. And I was thinking about this morning. We know what, let's say, the Knight of Swords means, but sometimes intuitively it will mean something different.
Yes.
So getting that perspective from somebody else really makes a lot of sense. Yes. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I had a great conversation with Mel from Woolly Hermit, where she uses the tarot to tell a story. You can find that video. It's great. And sometimes just reading the visuals is enough. That's enough information.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's really how you read the Akashic records. You just get words and things that come to you, and the sitter is the one that has to interpret.
Yes.
The words. So yeah.
And Deb and Angela, I'll give you a chance to respond to that. But Michelle Marie said, I started tarot by reading for myself before reading for others. It's such a great introspective tool. And like most of you, I love getting readings from people I trust. We're a fabulous community. Yes. Yes, we are. So it's enlightening when you get a reading from someone else. You look at the cards and see what you would say, then compare it to what the reader saw in them. It opens your mind. I think that's a very good thing.
Yep.
And our mascot just showed up.
Hi, Miss Charlotte. And okay, Andrea mentioned Jane hooked me up with angel guides that are a part of my team of guides. And speaking of that, Jane, you do a show. You just did a show yesterday. Tell us about the show that you're doing.
I do grab a deck and greet your guides. And what I want to do is the point of the reading is people will grab any deck. It doesn't matter. It can be Oracle, Tarot, or regular playing cards. Probably not Uno, but I don't know. It all depends. And we invite in the guides, and I kind of create a triad, me, the sitter, and then our guides together, and then it's just a way of helping people realize that they are connected to their guides, and then they can think about that reading and they're involved in it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Awesome.
yeah, it's really good. So everybody go over to Jane the Seeker, not working.
Maybe you don't have many alive.
Oh well, go over to Jane the Seeker and see that, because it's a safe environment to where you can do that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
way.
and I will say I do keep it a very sacred space. You have to be subscribed to me for an hour, because that way we don't get people who, randos, and I make it very sacred so that everybody can feel like they can do that.
Yeah.
And what's really nice too is, for example, yesterday, Deanne was in the chat for most of it, and she added another layer to it.
Surprise. Of course Deanne did.
Right. She's so good. And because she also does cardiomancy, and one of the people that was had a deck of cards, I was just assigning like tarot meanings to the cards. Oh, look at monkey. But she was giving the, like what it was. And so that was, it was a wonderful one yesterday, I have to say.
Yeah.
And they usually are. I really do enjoy doing that.
Yeah. And that's Deanne Blue Crescent Tarot.
Yes.
So, okay, Deb, Angela, what tips or ideas do you have for people reading for themselves?
Most importantly, it's consistency. If you do it every day, you learn what the narrative is for you on a regular basis.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I would say pay attention to different decks and different readers, and let that inform your whole universe of knowledge. That let the same card in a different deck inform you as to how you would read that card all the time, what it means to you. Let it flesh out the knowledge about that card. Let other readers help you to build that knowledge so that you come to an understanding of what the card means to you. Once you have that, then when you lay it down, you'll be less likely to short circuit and not be able to read it. It's just practice.
Yeah. Somebody had mentioned Rachel Pollack has in their book, Reading for Yourself, Mary Kay Greer in Tarot for Yourself actually talks about different ways to read the cards, because when I get stuck in my head, I have to remember, just look at the card and say what's on the card. That primes the pump.
Yeah.
So context is very important, Miss Charlotte. Oh, here. Here you go, Miss Charlotte.
And I hope nobody's offended by my dancing Jesus. I do love Jesus. I'm not a Christian, but Jesus loves me.
Yeah.
I think we all need one.
Yes.
Oh,
There
it's
you
great. It comes with a conga line and everything.
Oh, that's nice. I love that. Heather said the Mystic palette has been my go-to for my personal readings. It's rare I connect with a deck like this one, and I think that's an important point. Is the deck? Switch up the deck. A deck may be easier for you to read than others. I mean, it's like catching up with an old friend. Um, and we have tried different ways of picking cards too. Yes. And Mystic Traveler, I don't. I interview the deck as a whole and what the how the deck will be used. But you could. That's actually, is that like a path working thing? Going into each card, I think, is that what they talk about when they do path working?
I'm not sure.
Interesting. I never thought of that.
So it's like if you were to step into the card, what would this card tell you? What would you see? So,
Love it.
That would be an interesting exercise for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise. It's a very good exercise.
He is kind of twerking.
There you go. For sure, Gerald, read for yourself with a conversational deck. Yes. And Mystic Traveler, I am glad you asked that question. And is that Natalie? I think so.
That seems right.
Okay. And I saw a reader do a Celtic Cross with an oracle deck. I had no idea you could even use oracles like that.
Do what?
They're your cards. You can do anything you want to with them.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So, Natalie,
Mystic
sorry. So, okay. I did see I need to finish up because I don't want to occupy these people's time too much. And stay tuned because we are totally going to do I think we're going to have to do a deck interview conversation.
Yes.
So Mystic Traveler is Lisa.
Oh.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So and okay. So any last minute thoughts that you all would like to share with people? Because the best chatters have been here for an hour and 13 minutes and you've all been wonderful. So thank you.
I would say just be true to yourself. Sorry, Deb, but be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And trust yourself. It's okay.
If you if you don't feel like you're getting a clear answer, don't be afraid to ask someone else. Ask another reader what they think, and if they're comfortable letting you ask a question.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to go back to the book either. If you have a question on a card, pull the book out.
Yeah. And I would also say a good thing to remember is if a particular deck isn't working for you, then change decks. And it doesn't have to be a tarot deck. It can be an oracle deck. It can be any deck that works for you.
That's what I thought.
So, yes, this was great fun. Thank you all very much. Jane, what do you have coming up?
What is this? Oh, I have Tuesdays with TarotStache on Tuesday.
Yes, it's not working. Damn it.
Yes,
Tuesdays with TarotStache.
Yeah, I think you only get so many per show, maybe.
I will make this work.
Yeah, that's all I have coming up so far because I have a full schedule of doctor appointments, getting to the bottom of what's going on with me. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pulling the book out. Such a good reminder. You're welcome, Lisa. Deb, what do you have coming up?
Well, Monday, I'm going to be doing a caffeinated and unfiltered
Really?
in the evening on Gerald's channel.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
then Tuesday, I will be on Gerald's channel again with Longman Tarot Richie.
Doing
don't-
caffeinated and unfiltered readings.
Yes. Oh, yes, they are caffeinated and unfiltered
yeah.
as well. So we're getting a double shot of caffeinated and unfiltered readings on Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll be
Yes.
there too.
Angela, what else do you have coming up?
I am going to start on the playing cards.
Ooh, wow.
Are you
It's
going to
There's a
teach?
lot of questions about playing card reading, and I've decided I'm going to start teaching that.
Oh my gosh, on your channel?
Yes. First,
your-
I'm going to do an introductory video that'll let you know how to prepare to go
Yes.
through each step by step.
Yep.
Awesome.
Link is below, so make sure you do that.
Yes, and I do personal readings at cardamancy.mesquite@gmail.com.
Yes.
That makes
Yes.
me happy in my heart that you're going to do that. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
Yay. I have some stuff coming up this weekend. One of them is I'm teaching the Divine Complement class with Val.
Mhm.
I think registration's closed. However, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, Karen from Starseed Awakening 11 and 11 and I are doing readings together.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I'm doing something on Monday where I'm calling it overly complicated readings, where I'm reading with my circle punched cards, my circle punched tarot decks.
Mhm.
I can't wait.
So, I mean, it'll be very interesting. And then caffeinated and unfiltered. Tuesdays is Tuesdays with TarotStache. Caffeinated and unfiltered at 2 p.m. And then at 4 p.m., Jonathan Daly and I are reading with the Robin Wood Tarot.
And that'll be fun.
Mhm.
Yes, that'll be fun.
I
haven't-
enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Get that deck.
I shoved that deck. You don't have that deck, Jane?
I do not. Can you believe that?
Goodness.
I don't-
Okay.
Oh,
And yeah,
What,
that's crazy. That's crazy. And then I'm doing readings with Michelle and Tanis on Astrological Tarot, Twillo
Yes.
Lifestyle.
on camera.
So looking
Apparently.
forward to that. And yeah, I know. Overly complicated from you, Gerald. How can this be? I may never do it. I may have to actually leave YouTube after this happens. But
I like your hole punch decks.
Mhm.
yes. Yeah. So I might need a second person to help me out, Deb. So, you know.
I don't have hole punch decks, but
No, but I might need somebody to calm me the F down.
okay. I can do.
There you go. All right. Let's thank you everybody for joining us. You all take care, and we will see you again soon. Bye.